Coming up, we see how Tzu Chi volunteers help the Syrian refugees in Turkey. And we learn how farmers in Tainan have combined environmental engineering with farming to stabilize their orchid output. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in New Zealand. In 2000, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hamilton City, North Island, began providing spiritual support to the elderly in nursing homes and hot meals for the homeless on the city's streets. As it is currently winter there, the volunteers recently held a winter aid distribution for the homeless in the city. Hamilton City is located in New Zealand's North Island and is the fourth largest city in the country. Tzu Chi volunteers here have been spreading love and care since the year 2000. This is the first year, however, that volunteers are holding a winter aid distribution for the homeless.
People showing up every time, and all this was excellent. And all the other work you do, service work around the world, especially Auckland, Hamilton, Christchurch, and all the love and help you give, and thank you.
Tzu Chi has long partnered with Methodist City Action, a local social service agency, to provide hot meals for the homeless. This month, the event included snacks and woolen hats.
It's just very humbling for all of us, and we're just very appreciative to the Tzu Chi Foundation.
People are receiving that love that you're putting into the preparation. That's really helpful. Thank you to the Tzu Chi Foundation.
Though there are less and less Taiwanese immigrants in Hamilton City as of late, the warmth and care of the Tzu Chi volunteers has continued to spread to others.
I remember 5 or 6 years ago going at Flagstaff when I met one of your members at the foundation. You are doing a good job here. Thank you very much.
Over 10 years of love and care from Tzu Chi has warmed the hearts of the homeless here in New Zealand. Moving to the Middle East, the Bedouins in Amman, Jordan, also observe the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Fitr. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers held an aid distribution to help their care recipients enjoy the holiday. Here in Amman, Jordan, Tzu Chi volunteers are holding an aid distribution for their Bedouin care recipients. In celebration of Eid al-Fitr, volunteers have prepared sugar, dates, one 10-kilogram bag of rice, and some sportswear donated by a Taiwanese business for each family.
I feel great about this, and I'm quite happy to see this kind of organization helping the less fortunate people.
Eid al-Fitr is an important festive holiday for Muslims. It is a time when relatives and friends visit one another and take a meal together. However, the volunteers witnessed one family of 6 sharing 2 boiled eggs for their breaking of the fast meal.
This aid distribution is such a good event. Thank you, Taiwan. Thank you, Tzu Chi volunteers. Handing over each aid item with respect, the volunteers treat their care recipients with the love and care they deserve. As the Syrian civil war enters its 4th year, the conflict has already left 230,000 dead and displaced over 4 million people. Turkey alone has seen 1.8 million Syrian refugees find safety within its borders. However, once these refugees reach safety, their problems are far from over. Working to help these refugees find a new life has been both Syrian volunteers in Turkey and local Tzu Chi volunteers. Let's learn more. Here in the Turkish city of Sultan Gazi, Tzu Chi is about to hold an aid distribution for the city's many Syrian refugees. Ahead of the distribution, families rush to check the name list to see if they are eligible. Altogether, 900 families were slated to receive aid, while those not on the list hope for the best. Adham and his wife and 4 children arrived here from Syria just 2 months ago.
他说：“因为我的脚呢，我没办法工作，所以说有没有办法帮助我们？我们可能可以帮助他，不过必须要先到他家里面去，到时候去调查。”
In Syria, Adham was the owner of a cell phone store. He later fled to escape the ravages of the civil war. Although now he and his family are safe, life remained extremely difficult. Contracting polio when young, Adham is unable to walk without assistance and thus ineligible for many jobs. To cover rent, he does handicrafts at home, while his 11 and 12-year-old sons work when they can. But it is still not enough to cover even basic expenses.
Except for Allah, I've never turned to anyone for help. This is my first time asking others to help me. I had worked in Syria before. I didn't need any help then. Praise Allah. What can I say? This is Allah's will.
أنا فاهم.
As the Syrian civil war enters its 4th year, Turkey alone has taken in 1.8 million Syrian refugees.
The most pressing problem is the refugees simply don't have money. They don't have enough money to eat, pay rent, or see a doctor.
Now living in Turkey, Kuma was a professor back in Syria. Seeing the suffering of his countrymen, he decided to help.
However, my resources and reach were limited. God praise Allah that I found Tzu Chi. Allah has answered my prayers and given us the ability to help the poor and those in need.
In October 2014, Kuma and his group of Syrian volunteers began working in cooperation with Tzu Chi. Ahead of their first aid distribution in 2015, Tzu Chi volunteers also asked Taiwanese exchange students to join their efforts.
A big thank you to all the Taiwanese and Syrian volunteers that have come together to help the Syrian people. We are thankful for everyone's efforts.
Transcending religious and nationality, here in Turkey, Taiwanese and Syrians have come together to spread the seeds of love to those desperately in need.
Next, we meet a young vegetarian in Singapore who has embraced a meatless diet since birth. Once when tempted with a fish dish her cousin was eating, Yixin rejected the dish as she didn't want to harm a living being.
I am Pan Yixin, and I'm 5 years old. I started embracing vegetarianism when my mother was pregnant with me. Some children are picky and they refuse to eat mushrooms, corns, or dates. However, Yixin is not picky and she finishes the food you give her.
How do we make sure they get enough nutrients? We make sure they get foods of 5 colors. The kids like to eat corn, shelled corn. They also eat carrots. Today I added radish. Usually they like to mix rice with soup, so I add a lot of ingredients to the soup. She saw her cousin eat fish during Chinese New Year and asked, "What is it?" I want a bite. I told her, it's fish. Do you want some? She said, no, we cannot eat fish, or we will be taking his life away. Do you want cucumber? She eats cucumber. Her father told her this is good. Is it good?
We are vegetarians and we don't eat meat. I told her not to hurt animals. Your hand will hurt if you cut it. Animals also feel the pain when they get hurt. That's what I told her.
要不要小羊卡？不能小羊卡。为什么？因为它会怕了。那天他哭，他笑。
She cried when she got off the bus and saw that someone had stepped on the snail. She said she was scared. Then her father taught her to chant Buddha's name on behalf of the snail.
要念佛给他，祝福他这样子。
Her love is genuine.
拿给师姑烧。
Give this to the master to help other people.
他自己知道说，哎，要
She
说好。
knows one should speak kind words, do good deeds, and think good thoughts.
The Tzu Chi Australia chapter is promoting Meatless Mondays to corporate workers by providing free vegetarian meals. Though the program is free of charge, some still donated money to Tzu Chi as an expression of gratitude. In total, 99 people signed up for this 2-month program.
To serve young people who want to try vegetarian food but do not have the time to cook, Tzu Chi volunteers in Australia are now providing free vegetarian lunches. One kitchen volunteer, Elvin, learned to cook after retirement, and he now enjoys serving people with his culinary skills.
我们的付出会帮助到
Our effort will help people who want to try vegetarian food. This is a meaningful event.
有意思的事情。
Another kitchen volunteer, Jenny, an immigration consultant, cooks as a mother would. She hopes people will enjoy the health benefits of vegetarianism.
现在我好得多了，我觉得我做的。
My health has improved. I think the vegetarian lunches are convenient for office workers. It is also part of eco-living.
的人是也是很好的事情。
After the Tzu Chi Australia chapter started a campaign of going meatless on Mondays, 99 people signed up online for the vegetarian meal boxes. Among them, 78 people being non-vegetarians.
I'd like to become vegetarian, but I think that's a goal down the road. So there were tasty meals.
很不简单，因为我们在
It has not been easy since we are in the city, and there are tens of thousands of white-collar workers here. Regular restaurants are full of customers, but only a few people want to try our vegetarian meals. Some tried but did not continue.
的这一段时间就受不了了，就停了。
Promoting vegetarian diets takes time and effort, but these volunteers are firm in their resolve.
Farmers rely on stable weather for a good harvest, but Taiwan's orchid farmers have found a way to stabilize their output year after year unaffected by climate change or severe weather systems. We now visit the Taiwan Orchid Biotechnology Park in Hobi, Tainan, to learn how farmers there have combined environmental engineering with farming.
这是我们的台湾之光蝴蝶兰。
The largest orchid plantation in the world is right in Hobi, Tainan, and every day it is contributing to the Taiwan miracle.
About 400 hectares worth of orchids are produced in Taiwan a year, with a gross revenue of about $130 million.
In this enormous greenhouse, every orchid looks exactly the same. Through applying environmental engineering, the yield is maximized, which gives these orchid farmers an edge over competitors.
If you water the plants manually, you will have to water them one by one. With this, everything is done automatically, and every plant gets the same amount of water.
This specifically designed sprinkler system is the secret weapon of this greenhouse. Not only does it minimize manpower, it can accurately fertilize each plant and reduce the water bill by about $7,000 a month.
This fan draws air from the bottom and rotates 360 degrees, so the air inside the greenhouse will circulate properly. This helps keep the temperature inside even.
Traditional greenhouses tend to use vertical fans which blow in a fixed direction, but by combining these rotating fans and temperature sensors placed inside the greenhouse, the temperature can be properly controlled. Up above, the sunshade is adjusting itself automatically to make sure each plant gets enough sunlight.
Originally, he brought in raised roof greenhouse from the Netherlands. He then made adjustments on his own to improve the energy efficiency of the greenhouse.
Typically, greenhouses are only about 3 to 4 meters in height, but the greenhouse here is 7 meters in height. Through utilizing the principle of convection, hot air is discharged outside of the greenhouse naturally from the top.
By applying advancements in technology to the agriculture industry, we can increase our production efficiency and reduce our dependency on manpower.
What is the most impressive about the greenhouse is all systems can be remotely controlled.
For example, if a typhoon is coming, you can then make adjustments according to the wind speed setting. Perhaps if the detected wind speed exceeds a certain level, you can then have all shades and windows close automatically.
All systems inside the greenhouse can be controlled via a smartphone or central computer to make sure the temperature, humidity, wind speed and sunlight are all within optimal parameters. The system was created by Ling himself. Originally just a small-time orchid farmer, it took him 30 years of hard work to get to where he is. 8 years ago, he realized environmental engineering must be combined with farming.
Because of the size of your farm, if you don't do things this way, you will increase your risks.
Now, Ling's orchid empire sits at the top of the world. Every year, he exports 4 million orchids to Europe, America, and Japan to the tune of millions of dollars.
What do these farmers need from the government? They need the government to provide a platform where they can access these technologies, distribution channels, and loans. As we can see, they now can compete internationally.
Even though farmers like Ling Mingxing have managed to forge their own path despite the hardship faced by the country's agricultural industry, the government still needs to play its part by anticipating the needs of the global market and come up with policies to help Taiwan's farmers tackle the challenges of tomorrow.
In Zhanghua, Taiwan, the Agape Community Service Association helps the homeless by giving them a job at their farm. This type of work program not only gives the homeless a sense of accomplishment, but as the association also has them deliver meals to solitary seekers, they also learn the value of giving.
In Zhanghua, Taiwan, the Agape Community Service Association has set up an aquaponic garden called Bihu Farm.
The fish waste is transformed into fertilizer for the vegetables.
It takes up to 6 hours a day to tend to the farm. However, 50-year-old Ai doesn't complain, as this job has given him the strength to live after living on the streets after his divorce.
I was pretty down when I started, but after getting used to this environment, my heart started to open up, because now I have a steady job and a place to focus on.
This cash for work program helps the homeless to feel useful once more. Now there are several helping to plant vegetables and tend to the chickens on the farm. Finding focus on the farm, these homeless are no longer lost. Among their tasks is also helping deliver meals to solitary seniors.
When they can't see and I help them ladle their soup, it makes me feel quite useful. They have their pride back. We have also given them a skill. Their biggest reward from this program is that they are now helpful members of society.
Here at Bihu Farm, the homeless have regained their confidence once more.
Staying in Zhanghua, to help recruit more people to join the force, the Volunteer Fire Brigade in Shizhou Township has made a short video which included photos of firefighters who served on the force.
Although he's busy with work, Liang Shixian puts everything down when he gets a call for help.
I got a call for help and need to go help put out a fire. Watch the stove for me.
Being a fireman was Liang's dream, but was rejected due to a cleft lip. However, he has been a volunteer fireman for more than 20 years. After the Kaohsiung gas explosion, Liang and others worry that young people will be unwilling to join their ranks in the future.
If one day I die in a line of duty, I did feel very honored.
当然，在社会有需要咱的时阵，加付出一次啊，这是咱快乐欢喜的所在。毕竟咱这社会还有人要爱。
As it is getting harder to recruit volunteer firemen, the fire brigade in Xizhou collected pictures of firemen on duty and in training from 50 years ago.
This was taken in the 1970s when they marched in uniform.
They made a 3-minute film with some old pictures, music, and some writing.
We're very touched to see these old pictures and how our seniors served the people of Xizhou Township.
The firemen then posted a clip on the internet, hoping to recruit more young people to join as volunteer firemen.
I hope you will also have the passion to serve like me. Join the volunteer fireman brigade.
Having dedicated themselves to saving lives, the volunteer firemen's passion and sacrifice have earned them the respect that heroes deserve.
Who would have ever thought that Taiwan would produce a magician that can win first place in the esteemed World Championship of Magic hosted by FISM? Not only did the 26-year-old Horace Wu manage to do that, he also accomplished such a feat by competing in the close-up cards category. But in order to get to where he is today, Wu began studying magic in the 8th grade and invested over $20,000 US studying magic.
In the blink of an eye, this poker card suddenly changed its pattern. 26-year-old Horace Wu won the World Championship of Magic with his card magic. The skillful Horace was able to set himself apart from the rest of the competitors and won first place in the close-up cards category in this competition hosted by FISM, which is known as the Olympics for the world's magicians. Not only was Wu the first Taiwanese ever to win such a category, he was also the first Asian to ever achieve such a feat.
With a simple set of poker cards, you can perform magic tricks. People watch magic performances because they want to see what kind of gadgets magicians will be using. But I want to break from such a mold. I want people to know that magicians can do tricks just by using their hands, instead of relying on sophisticated gadgets.
Wu dived into the world of magic since he was in the 8th grade. To date, he has won 18 major competitions. To snatch first place this time, he has prepared for 4 years.
Card magic is like the bread and butter for every magician. But to be able to do it really well is actually something that is very hard to do.
Horace has proved that card magic is no longer an area dominated by European magicians. Due to his latest achievement, he has been invited to perform in Japan and France, bringing glory to both himself and Taiwan.
In the United States, Tzu Chi volunteers from Seattle, Washington have long partnered with Open Doors for Multicultural Families, an organization formed by parents of children with disability. Each summer, Tzu Chi will work with the parents to host different types of activities for the children to enjoy. This year, the events included bike riding, rafting, and more. We will leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.